news items. One, as our reporter covering Hillary Clinton, Dan Merica, points out, we think that this is the closest Hillary Clinton has come to offering something of an apology for the 1994 crime bill. Not that she necessarily needs to offer one, but she did say, quote, "I'm sorry for the consequences that were unintended and have had a very unfortunate impact on people's lives." Something like an apology for the 1994 bill. In addition, there was a moment where Clinton was talking about how nobody has overthrown or got rid of Assad, which, even though...
Jake, I got to jump in. Our Jeff Zeleny is with Senator Sanders. Let's go to Jeff. Jeff?
Senator Sanders, thank you for joining us tonight. So the tone in this debate seems so different from those early debates last year and earlier this year. Given that tone, how difficult will it to be to unify this Democratic Party?
Well, I think the tone is different because we have won 7 out of the last 8 state contests. And I think the Clinton campaign and the secretary are getting a little bit nervous. I think it's undeniable that we have the momentum. We've been attacked a whole lot by the Clinton camp. But I'm feeling very, very good coming into the New York primary on Tuesday. And I think, look, to answer your question, there are no Democrats that I know, or virtually none, who will desert the Democratic Party, no matter who the candidate is, to vote for Donald Trump or some other right-wing Republican. I do not think that that will happen. On
guns specifically, is your views in line, in step with the views of the New York Democrats, do you think?
Well, I don't know the answer to that. My view is that I have a D- voting record from the NRA. I've supported the president on every major gun legislation and initiative that he's brought forth in terms of expanding the instant background check, doing away with the gun show lobby, doing away with this straw man situation. We've got to get guns out of the hands of people who should not have them. But I think, and that is my view.
But why not say that you were holding that view when you were a senator from Vermont? As president, you might have a different view.
Well, my view is what it is, and that is we have got to do everything we can to get guns out. And I'll tell you something else. It's very easy to have a point of view which is not going to go anyplace. I honestly believe, we got 50 states in this country, and if we're going to succeed and do more than give speeches, we have to create a consensus. And I believe there is a consensus out there which wants to make certain that we get guns out of the hands of people who do not have them. But, there are issues like where we disagreed today. And I think the world has seen this. Secretary Clinton has a super PAC. She has a 401, a PAC, or an organization that raises money without allowing disclosure. I don't think you're able to convince ordinary Americans in New York or any place else that you're going to stand up to the drug companies who are ripping us off, or Wall Street when you take their money.
On the crime bill, Secretary Clinton said that she regrets her support for the 1994 crime bill, but you actually voted for it. Yes or no? Do you regret your vote for that bill?
In retrospect, it was a vote that led to a lot of awful things. They were good. But here's the difficulty. You can't say in retrospect. If I had voted the other way, I'd have Secretary Clinton say, Bernie Sanders, you had an opportunity to vote against to ban assault weapons. You didn't do that. You had an opportunity to calm down, deal with domestic violence, and vote for the Violence Against Women Act. I don't think you can look at it like that. What I do know is that bill has caused disastrous problems in mass incarceration, and we need to radically reform a broken criminal justice system. But I think the differences between the secretary and me come down to a simple reality. I don't believe you're going to make the changes you need for working families unless you stand up to the big money interest. I don't think you're going to stand up to the big money interest when you take their money.
Did you forget to mention the bankruptcy bill tonight when you were asked by Dana Bash to point out some examples of things where she voted? You didn't mention that tonight. Was that intentional or was that an oversight?
Well, it was, as you know, that's a point that Elizabeth Warren made.
But you didn't make it tonight. You made it before.
Well, I thought I made a few other points. Can't make them all. Okay?
In terms of unifying the party, last thing here, Secretary Clinton said she helped unify the party with President Obama. Do you plan to help do the same thing she did?
But he can't make them all.
She does that.
Republicans win, Jeff, as they did 2 years ago when voter turnout is low and people are demoralized.
Right.
Democrats and progressives win when there is a high voter turnout. There is no debate, unless you're very partial here. and not objective, that our campaign has generated the energy, the enthusiasm. You've been to some of these rallies.
A lot of big rallies.
And a lot of energy. And I believe, where Secretary Clinton and I disagree, I believe that to win, you're going to have to reach out to a lot of independents, and by the way, some Republicans. We are doing that in this campaign. And I think that the path toward victory in November is a large base. That is what we are creating, and that's what I will do if I'm the nominee.
Senator, thank you very much for your time.
Jeff.
Anderson, back to you.
Hi everybody, my name is Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thanks a bunch for tuning in. Okay, so if you want to see tonight's full debate between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders, there's a clickable link in the text body of this video, right below the video on the YouTube video page. There's a clickable link. It says Alternate Mox News YouTube page. Click here. It's the one where I'm posting the majority of the presidential debates in full. This particular YouTube page that I'm speaking on now has a copyright violation against it, so I won't be able to post any videos over 15 minutes for a few more months. But, we're doing good. We're staying solid. We're posting presidential debates over there. One of the presidential debates on the Alternate Mox News YouTube page has 700,000 views. So obviously some people are finding the videos over there. If you want to see this debate, I thought it was pretty fiery right from the start. Bernie Sanders came out and it's just like bam, 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 bam. And, Hillary hit back. Her punches seem to be more like bullshit, But she did seem to have Bernie struggling there a little bit too. But it was a good debate. I thought it was a really good boom, boom, head-butting debate. So if you'd like to see it in full, it's available at the Alternate Mox News YouTube page. There's a clickable link right below this this video on the YouTube page here. There's a little box and it says Alternate Mox News YouTube page. Click here, right below the video here. And that'll take you right over there. And like I said, that's where I'm posting the majority of the presidential debates. I don't know when there is another one coming up, but there's other things over there. There's a Donald Trump rally over there. So anyways, if you want to see tonight's debate, it's over there. Go check it out. And I'm sorry, I'm a little bit under the weather. I got the cap finally put on my tooth, the crown or the cap or whatever it is. On Tuesday, and what I can tell you is it is a really, really bad idea to bring up the movie Marathon Man before your dentist starts working on you, because he started describing the scenes from the movie to the dental assistant. How he's like taking this and jamming it up onto a raw nerve, and I'm just like, oh shit, this is bad. Before he starts working on me. And then he looks at me and he says, that guy in the movie, that dentist, he was a Nazi, right? Like, you're comparing me to a Nazi, right? Like, shit, this was a bad idea. So don't bring up the movie Marathon Man with Dustin Hoffman before your dentist starts working on you. Really bad idea. Anyways, and that's my experience. If you haven't seen that movie, that's the experience I have when I go to the dentist, and that's why I haven't been able to do a whole lot the last couple days. So I apologize. I've been under the weather a little bit, but we got the debate up tonight, and if you want to check it out, it's available. Alternate Mox News YouTube page. Clickable link in the text body of the video, right below this video. Clickable link says Alternate Mox News YouTube page. Click here. That'll take you right over there. And there's other presidential debates over there too. So please subscribe to that page. Just in case something happens to this one, you guys will know where I'm at. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. One of these days this war is going to end. If you want to buy me lunch, there's also a clickable link in the text body of the video to give a little something back to Mox News. So, and that makes a huge difference in my world when you guys do that. So thanks very much. Stay cool. One of these days this war is going to end. It has to, right?
Compassion stirred the Buddha to send his monks out into the community. Sworn to chastity and poverty, they wandered the roads, bringing the Buddha's teachings into the world. Go forth, monks, for the happiness of the many, out of compassion for the world. There are beings whose eyes have little dust on them, who will perish if they do not hear the teaching. But if they hear the teaching, they will gain liberation.
The monks exist by begging. We think of begging as kind of a bad thing. Begging in this tradition is a good thing. It's a sign of spiritual purity.
You're not allowed to beg tomorrow's lunch today. Only today's lunch. Then you can't eat from noon until dawn the next day. Then you have to go out and get another lunch. And then in exchange for lunch, you give a lecture. Unless they say we don't want to hear about it, then you don't. But that's the only thing but that forces you to interact with the lay community.
And if you're not serving them, if you're not doing something useful for them, they won't put anything in your bowl, and that will be the end of your community.